As we talk about that Justin Herbert injury, Adam Schefter jumping in with us. And Schefty, what do we know about the leg injury that Herbert suffered last night?
Laura, Jim Harbaugh called it a leg contusion, and Justin Herbert missed only one play, and he came back in the game. And that's why Jim Harbaugh said after the game that Justin Herbert is, in his words, as tough as they come. And when you finish a game, usually there are no issues the next week. So even though it looked bad when it happened, it looks like Justin Herbert will be fine moving forward as he continues to play through many injuries. Speaking of injuries to quarterbacks, Aiden O'Connell suffered a bone bruise on his knee. Now, he was carted off. His leg was in an air cast, but tests today showed only a bone bruise. Now, Antonio Pierce said today that if O'Connell can't start next Monday night against the Falcons, Desmond Ridder would start against his former team, but O'Connell still wants to play. As for Derek Carr, another former Raiders quarterback, he is in concussion protocol. He also suffered a hand injury. The Saints have no plans to place him on IR. They say he's week to week, and they have to make a decision now about whether or not they will start Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener, with Carr dealing with the concussion and the hand injury right now.
All right, Adam Schefter back with us for some top stories. Schefty, Justin Herbert left Sunday night's game for a stretch with a leg injury. He did come back in, but what do we know there?
He only missed one play, Laura, and after the game, the Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh said that it was a leg contusion, that Justin Herbert's one of the toughest players he knows. He's a warrior, and that is why Justin Herbert was able to come back, finish the game, and when players come back, finish the game, usually not an issue the next week, barring something unforeseen. So Herbert looks like he should be good to go for the time being. Panthers running back Jonathan Brooks, devastating news. For the second time in 13 months, he has torn the ACL in the same knee. Obviously will be out this season. It'll be a question about whether or not he can make it back next season. That right knee went down there. Non-contact injury. The moment he went down, you knew it wasn't going to be good, and the test today showed that it wasn't. It's a torn ACL again. And meanwhile, Bill Belichick and North Carolina have had ongoing discussions about the school's head coaching job. The two sides met for 5 hours in the Boston area on Sunday, continuing the talks that they've been having for days. There are people who believe this could happen. There are people who are skeptical it could happen. The fact of the matter is the conversations continue to go on. So we don't know whether or not Bill Belichick will wind up as the next head coach of North Carolina, but clearly he is interested in coaching in 2025, whether that is at the college or the NFL level.
Monday, the Falcons and the Vikings, of course, homecoming of sorts for Kirk Cousins as Falcons taking on the Vikings, and Falcons up 7 late in the first half. There's Sam Darnold connecting deep with Jordan Addison.
Little double move from Minnesota. They took a shot 3 or 4 times. It was just give your guy a chance. Atlanta defensively struggled tracking the football.
Let's go to the second quarter, and after a solid start to the day for Kirk Cousins, things start to unravel. Here he is, picked by Josh Metellus.
This was the story. Just a discomfort in the pocket for Kirk Cousins, a double hitch or double clutch again, another pick.
So we move to the third. The Falcons down 1. That didn't last long, though. Darnold creating some magic. And when you got Justin Jefferson to throw it to, you can do things like that. That ends up being a touchdown.
Spectacular athletic play by Sam Darnold to go out and make that play. And Laura, like you said, just give JJ a shot.
The wheels just completely falling off for the Falcons here. Darnold finding Addison again for the touchdown.
Really good job in space of getting the ball out right out of the cut to Addison. Then he can catch, avoid, touchdown. Falcons
need a score late to stop the bleeding, but doesn't happen because Cousins is picked again, that time by Byron Murphy. Vikings improved to 11-2 on the season thanks to that 42-21 win at home. And Cousins has been among the worst quarterbacks in the NFL this season. His 56 total QBR ranks 20th in the league. Touchdown to interception ratio is 31st. Worst of all, he's got the most turnovers of any player in the league. Wow. RC, what do you think is going on with Cousins at this point?
I think Kirk Cousins is making bad decisions, and if Kirk Cousins is making bad decisions, then what is he worth to you? When you play against the Minnesota Vikings, you have to understand how to attack unsound coverages, or at least they look that way. Here, they're going to bring Cam Bynum from the open side, and as he blitzes, Metellus is going to drop into underneath coverage. Now, since it's only a two-man route, they can cover this with the 4 people underneath. Look at the underneath coverage. Kirk Cousins throws it right to Josh Metellus after he pump fakes it, throw that football away. Now, normally when you bring 7 people, you need to be in zero coverage on the back end. Instead, the Minnesota Vikings are going to be in a hot blitz. Cam Bynum now is supposed to be the flat defender, and they're going to push Byron Murphy over the top of Kyle Pitts. You have to take out route there. Kirk Cousins isn't making the decisions that you expect from a veteran quarterback. And with his skills diminishing and declining, he has to be a guy that anticipates and puts the football where it needs to be.
Marcus, on the flip side, Darnold threw 5 touchdowns in the win. Why did he have so much success?
Yeah, Boogie, first, I love this poise. It was a situation where Sam Darnold leaned into his stars like we showed in the highlight, but I was impressed with him on the move. And some were called, and his improv, obviously, with the touchdown. But this was one that I thought is Sam Darnold. This is the first-round pick that Dan and Mina doesn't give up on, because now you have multiplicity in what he can do from the spot. And then you look at this play to Justin Jefferson, and people will say, oh, that's Sam Darnold being Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold has been athletic. Sam Darnold has not made plays like this consistently throughout his career. There's a calmness to the way he plays quarterback, and it has a lot to do with Kevin O'Connell, his head coach. But now you get a Sam Darnold that's operating from inside the pocket. You also call plays for him to be on the move, and then being able to create when it does break down. It makes this Minnesota offense very difficult to guard, and as long as he continues to take care of the football, this team will be formidable once they get into the playoffs.
I think Marcus is a sympathizer now. You a sympathizer?
Are you on board?
A sympathizer.
I never gave up on him. Y'all remember I was high on Sam when he went to Carolina.
He's definitely Sam curious.
Point.
And y'all make
Y'all don't have to
Sam
be proud of me.
Oh
I was talking
goodness.
about Sam Darnold when he was in Carolina.
Cardinals hosting the Seahawks in a battle for first place. Cardinals possession is where we pick it up. This game really important, like I said, for first place in the division. Cardinals lead 7-3, second and 19 from their own 21, and Murray over the middle, but picked off.
Doesn't even see Ernest Jones. I mean, he throws that ball right to him, and Kyler uncharacteristically gives the ball away. And we've talked about JSN and that connection on this show. What a beautiful throw by Geno.
Capitalizing on the turnover, too. Next Cardinals possession, Murray scrambling away from defenders, looking for Zay Jones, but Kobe Bryant intercepts that one. So another costly turnover. Just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Seahawks 2nd and 5 from their own 49, and Zach Charbonnet breaking free. Bye-bye. Mina likes to see it. 51-yard rushing touchdown. Cardinals fall short to Seattle with a 30-18 loss. Excuse me. The Seahawks, the favorite to win the NFC West as of right now, but as you can see there, all 4 teams still alive for this division. Mina, what was working for that Seahawks offense yesterday?
They ran the ball better than they have maybe like in 2 years, honestly, and which is crazy because Kenneth Walker, their starting running back, was out. But watching it, I mean, Charbonnet was good, but this wasn't because of him. This offensive line was blocking at a level we just have not seen from this unit in quite some time. Ryan Grubb, their offense coordinator, saw that this Cardinals defensive front was playing very aggressive, so he just spammed GT counter on them. I think they called it maybe like 10 times in this game, and it was different offensive linemen just moving bodies, wide open rushing lanes for Charbonnet. And then because of that, you saw finally Geno Smith actually had some time because the defensive line was slowed up a little bit by the run game. He was pressured at the lowest rate of the entire season. So very encouraging, because that to me has been the one thing that's really been holding me back with the Seahawks team is the offensive line and lack of a run game.
Do you think it's changing a little bit, the offense, though, over the course of the season? Because I think some of the really cool scheme infusion that's happening across parts of the NFL and the offenses that are gathering my attention are more no-huddle use. We saw that out of Seattle's offense. Not like this crazy 2-minute pace. More 4-by-1 stuff that we've talked about a ton on this show. How many different ways can I run counters? How many different ways can I pull people? And I liked the way that they ran some of those counters out of no huddle or in 4-by-1 formations and also had the RPO attached to it. I think I did not see that early in the season from this football team.
Yeah, I feel like Ryan Grubb, their offensive coordinator, he's really been looking for answers in the run game, and they've been trying so many different things. You're absolutely right. A lot of the things.
That's a 4x1 no-huddle gasher on the pull run.
Have not seen much of this all season long. And I think he's really trying to find a run game that works from the gun, because they want to put Geno in the gun and let him distribute. He's so good, but they just haven't been able to run the ball effectively that way. The other thing I would say is the offensive line has gotten healthier. Abe Lucas, the right tackle, finally came back. They put in a guard, a backup. Suame, I think is it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the changes that they have made in the offensive line have really started to pay off.
Yeah, I appreciate them trying to figure this out. The pass game is good. They know that. They know that. Right. It's just how can they try to create some efficiency, try to create the opportunity to change the line of scrimmage, lean on people a little bit. I think that no-huddle 4x1 kind of counter stuff.
As we look ahead to Week 18, because it feels like Seattle and the Rams are, this is going to matter. The fact that they can run the ball from the gun.
Yeah.
That division has become fascinating. Back here on NFL Live, let's take a look at the final USA Today Sports Super 25 Girls Flag Football rankings as the fall season comes to a close. The Central Phoenix Red Devils capped off an incredible season with a dominant performance in Alabama in the state title game this past week. Let's take a look at the highlights for that. In the third quarter is where we pick it up. Quarterback Garrett Griggs, who we've seen before on this show, she launches a 45-yard bomb to Natalie Lumpkin for the touchdown. And then in the fourth, Griggs hits Chloe Broadwater, flips it to Allie Supon for another score. The Red Devils scored 844 points on the year, and it wasn't all in offense. The defense provided some moments along the way. Central Phoenix finished the year 19-0, capturing the first ever USA Today Sports Super 25 Flag Football National Championship crown. You see them celebrating there. Congratulations.